This is Wrest Park.
Sorry if I don't get in your way.
There's marigolds, there's begonias, salvia, lilies. That's what all these border these sort of decorated gardens are made with. I don't know what this is, my mother will know. And on the walls I can see roses, fuchsia, wisteria, which smells absolutely gorgeous. This is a grand and beautiful home, about half an hour's drive maximum from Milton Keynes. And there are 92 acres here. Let's go and see what this statue is. He's holding a cornucopia overflowing with fruit and flowers. It's quite Parisian looking. A lot of the houses in Paris look a bit like that. Just beautiful grounds. Goodness, the gardening here would be a true delight if you were a gardener. Looks like some glass houses over there in the distance. Really reminds me of Versailles on a smaller scale, and probably, believe it or not, slightly less formal. But these long, grand walkways and very manicured gardens. Wow. There is, I don't know if you can see it, but there is actually gold painted on those balconies, the wrought iron. Goodness me. Interestingly enough, the symbol of this family is the wyvern. Now, the wyvern is what you might call some kind of cryptid creature. That is got the body of a lizard and the head of a dragon. And they're all over the place here. Those of you who know me well will know of a demonic encounter that I had when I was about 17 or 18. And I now know that what I saw was a wyvern. I did not know that until this very day. But it is no good thing, and I am a little bit interested to see what else I find here. I certainly would not like to be under the auspices of a wyvern myself. However, beautiful buildings, beautiful gardens. There's a bit more detail of the gold. Just about to enter the greenhouse sort of botanical collection. Banana palms. Goodness me, this is a very, very grand house. I mean, this is apparently not a royal residence, but I have to say this is probably the most exotic house that I've seen that wasn't a royal residence since I've been here. Conservatory, that's the word I'm looking for. A conservatory. Here we are, conservatory. If we get up close here, you might be able to see a little bit of the inside. This is the sitting room of Mrs. de Grey. It was the de Grey family. Goodness, chandeliers, beautiful. This is the drawing room. I'm just looking at the parquetry flooring. And the wallpaper, fabulous. A little mural done on the ceiling. And it was designed after the French style, the lady told me. So my guess was very good. That man over there is Mr. de Grey who designed it. Marble shelving in the library. Of course these books are not the original books, you can tell by the dates. There's some more fabulous green wallpaper.
Yeah. Well, I think I've been instructed unless there's a change to open it now and then close it, go back to. Yeah. So, yeah, so that's right.
This is Lady de Grey's sitting room, which I showed you through from the conservatory earlier. Thomas de Grey, her husband, actually virtually designed and helped build this house, and he used lots of second-hand parts from France in order to do it. And he designed this sitting room specially for his wife, which I think is lovely. course it looks out through here into the conservatory and the Italian garden, which they say is Italian but actually looks very French. They call it the Italian garden. This is just an amazing place. In my opinion, England needs to be promoting this place as much as they promote Buckingham Palace or Sandringham. It's got everything that Versailles has, except the name of Marie Antoinette. It's just a stunning, stunning park. And I just walked around the corner and discovered this darling bridge, and I wanted to show you the play of the water on the underside of the arch. Hopefully it comes through. So this is in the Chinese style, pagoda style, and that bridge was actually a Chinese bridge. Isn't it lovely? It's got a little bell on each corner of the lower sort of turret, or whatever you call it, of the roof. And up the top, of course, we have Mr. Critter. But I could certainly get used to spending my summer days in that beautiful summer house. Wow. It's lovely. Just the moment you walk in, it's just cool and it's surrounded by trees and it's very just serene. There's a family there enjoying a picnic. It is really special. And there's the little bridge in the Chinese fashion. Chinoiserie was very fashionable in Victorian England. And I guess part of the reason for the sudden upsurge in interest amongst the British for China was because it was at that time in history that the China Inland Mission, which is a mission society based in England, had made inroads in China. People like Hudson Taylor had gone to China with the gospel and was sort of revolutionary missionaries. I mean, he didn't go to China demanding that the Chinese suddenly dress like Europeans and start speaking English. He learnt to speak Chinese, and he shaved his head and wore the long queue at the back, the long plait that they used to wear, and he wore Chinese clothes for the rest of his life. And he really identified with the people and engaged in life with them. And that really started a whole new precedent for missionaries. We know that oftentimes, you hear horror stories about the English missionaries going to various places and sort of demanding that everyone start being Victorians. It still happened a wee bit in New Zealand, but Hudson Taylor was a bit of a revolutionary, and it would have been at that time that they were coming home on furlough, telling their stories, and people became interested in what they were bringing back with them. I mean, you know, the Chinese have got amazing architecture and weaving and textiles and, you know, instrumental contribution and history. You know, goes back thousands of years. So it's a great sort of cultural exchange. You know, and I just was thinking, after I recorded that little part, I was walking back to the main house and I was thinking about the church in China today. You know, I mean, it was shut down for 50 odd years under communism, but today the biggest church in the world is in China. It's actually miraculous, and they have more Christians in China. It just exploded during communism because people were looking for reality and a way of coping with the changing conditions. So, you know, you can thank Hudson Taylor and his ilk for that. And we come to the orangery. There's an ice cream truck outside, but I'm going to manfully restrain myself from taking part. This is just a really nice spot actually. Lots of people are picnicking here. Lots of shade. It's a very hot day today. These two look like they're worried about losing their laurel wreaths. Wow. This chimney piece dates from the 1600s apparently. He imported it to the orangery from the old house. You can see it's got the Tudor rose on it. Yeah, so in between the long water and that fountain out there, sort of halfway or 3/4 of the way down the main walk, that is where the old house used to be from the 1600s before he built this new house, is the new house from the 1700s that I've been looking through, 1800s that I've been looking through today. Just a plaque commemorating someone's support. And that's the orangery.